But yesterday, a lot of people are saying gloom and doom based on a early preseason camp. Take us through what you witnessed yesterday.
So what I witnessed yesterday was the Patriots' first padded practice. We'll hit Matt Judon, right? I think that's the first reason for anyone who might be freaking out. And for me, look, it was a bad look for the Patriots. What he did was sit to the side, chat with Jerod Mayo after stretching, left after about a minute, half hour later, comes back to the field, has this animated 8 to 10 minute conversation with Elliott Wolf and Mac Rowe, arms waving, as I was told, because I was watching drills from my colleagues Zach Cox and Doug Hyde at the Herald. And then he leaves again. So I would say Judon did not practice in padded practices last year when obviously he had a contract dispute with Bill Belichick. He didn't do this, but he didn't practice. That seems to be the line that he's drawing to me again. Other than that, Jacoby Brissett had a great day. Drake Maye had his worst practice. The running game looked good. And it looks like they might be missing Christian Barmore, obviously, given that he's, a top 3, top 5 player in this team.
All right, so let's get back to Judon. It's no secret that he wants a new deal. It's no secret that they're going to have to give him a little bit more money, at least for this year, if they don't extend him. Are you making inferences into Mayo, the difference between Mayo and Belichick this early based on incidents like this one?
No, I think it's too early. And look, I'll say this, aside from serious health scares, like we saw with Christian Barmore, and we all wish him well and hope he comes back soon, there's nothing within the first 5 practices of training camp that's going to have me freaking out. And if people are freaking out, I would just ask you this. Are you new here? Like, the defense is always ahead of the offense. Matt Judon played hardball head-to-head with Bill Belichick last year. It went all the way to August 1st. We're not into August yet here today. Again, I will say, not a good look for him to come into the middle of practice and seemingly confront Mac Rowe and Elliott Wolf. But when he participates fully, despite this contract, which is under half of what his value would be in the open market, talking under $7 million base salary, I'm not going to freak out about the one day he wasn't there when he participated in the other 4. Now, again, of course, this could get worse, but I would say everyone freaking out is making a lot of this return, which, again, was not good to Grow and Wolf. But if Jerod Mayo had talked to him for that 1 minute and he leaves, the narrative to me, in my mind, would be look at Jerod Mayo holding his ground, sending Matt Judon away. Obviously, he didn't stay, but I just want to make light of there's a 8 to 10 minute period that I think has got a lot of people's attention within a 5-day period that I would say, look, we haven't learned anything yet. It's that early.
So you think Jerod Mayo has passed his first big test because Judon's not the only problem he has to deal with. And he seems to be in the middle of a lot of stuff here early on in his tenure.
Yeah, we'll see, right? I don't think the test is over. Until this contract is resolved or Judon is traded or whatever, place that they arrive at. It's interesting to me, though, guys, that Judon makes comments about a month ago saying, hey, I'm not going to hold in. That was trash. I'm not about that. Last week he says, hey, look, I don't like my contract, but I will play on it. I will practice on it. And then, of course, yesterday, he's not participating in practice at all. So I would look at this maybe if I'm the Patriots. Optically, it's bad, but clearly them holding their ground is putting pressure on him in a way that's made him uncomfortable. To me, in negotiations, that's a sign that you're winning. It could get worse. He could make a mess if he chooses to and go completely against his word from a month ago, a la, let's say, James Harden in the NBA. And personally, guys, I would just hope he picks a lane. Either make the mess and sink into it and own it, or be a good soldier, let your agent handle the contract negotiations and hope something gets done.
Yeah, the hold-in has become one of the stranger things in sports, but we don't have to waste your time talking about it. We can just have that conversation on our own. I would rather hear from you, Andrew, what you saw out of the quarterbacks yesterday, because there had been a narrative, as there always is, that the new guy looks pretty good, and yesterday it seemed to go quite a bit in the other direction.
Yeah, a couple of so-so, and then just a downright bad day for Drake Maye yesterday when the Pats come on. He was 3 of 11 in team drills, according to my charting, along with Doug Hyde, again, of the Herald. He had an interception, threw it to Kyle Duggar. Only 1 pass completed compared to 2 sacks when they went full team in 11 on 11s. Now, this is going to happen. And Jacoby Brissett simultaneously, again, we talk about the difference between optics and what really happened. Optics were worse for him because Jacoby Brissett at the same time had his best day ever. So there's this bigger gap. But what I would say is Drake Maye through the first 3 days and even OTAs and minicamp looked very calm, looking controlled. The numbers weren't wow. He would have a couple of highlight throws, but that kind of calm and control in the pocket especially behind this offensive line, was very, very impressive. So just like Judon, where I'm not going to throw out the first 4 practices in light of this last one, I'm not going to do the same thing with Drake Maye, because ultimately there's about I don't know, 9 to 10 practices left, of course, 3 preseason games. If he's the better quarterback over that stretch, guys, clearly over Jacoby Brissett, he'll be the starting quarterback. And that's the same thing we said last week. So I would just give it time. But right now, over the first 5 practices, there's no question there's a clear leader, Jacoby, who was 10 of 11 with a couple really, really nice downfield passes yesterday.
It's not surprising Jacoby Brissett is, the better quarterback in camp based on his experience and everything. But can you tell Drake Maye is another level of an athlete? Like, even if he's making mistakes, just the way he moves and throws, can you tell that he's a superior, I guess, like mold?
Yeah, no question. I mean, the one box that you can check in his favor is sack avoidance. Jacoby Brissett has taken 7 and basically the same number of 11 on 11 snaps by my charting. We kind of differ sometimes on the media hill based on who got closest, and you can't obviously sack the quarterback in practice. And Drake May's only taken 5. So part of that is not just athleticism, but it's instincts, it's pocket feels. No one's going to mistake Tom Brady, of course, for Usain Bolt. But that dude was as good in the pocket as anyone maybe ever as far as adjusting and avoiding pressure. So those signs early, not just because he can scramble, but he's been able to sidestep pressure and get the ball out, has been encouraging for me for Drake Maye.
If you like that clip, and how could you not? Check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for the latest from the Sports Hub, download at 985thesportshub.com.